Autumn is my favourite season of the year. Getting wrapped up in knitted jumpers, lighting some candles, curling up with a cup of coffee, and getting snug under blankets. The perfect activity to do during these chilly, dark nights with your friends and family is my favourite murder mystery game, Hunt a Killer. Hunt a Killer is a unique subscription box where the game's players turn detective. The game challenges players to examine clues, solve puzzles, decode ciphers, and much more, with each box packed full of evidence, documents, case files, and audio recordings, where, along the way, players will eliminate suspects, identify murder weapons, and take one step further towards solving the case. Hunt a Killer currently has over 100,000 active subscribers and over 2,000 5-star reviews, with the game continuing to grow in popularity as more and more people get involved. I've played the game with my siblings and it is an enormous amount of fun, and I'd highly recommend it to anyone interested in the crime genre. Whether you watch my videos or have a library full of crime books at home, Hunt a Killer is the game for you. Another reason why Hunt a Killer is a fantastic product is that part of the proceeds for every box goes to the Cold Case Foundation, an organisation that is dedicated to helping with real-life cold cases. Right now, you can go to huntakiller.com/Dark Curiosities and use the code DARK for $10 off your purchase. Again, make sure that you use the code DARK at the checkout for a $10 discount. Thank you again to Hunt a Killer for sponsoring this video. Located in Møre og Romsdal, a county located in the west of Norway in the region of Sunnmøre, is Geiranger, a popular tourist village known for resting by the spectacular Geiranger fjord. In the 1990s, Geiranger had a population of just under 300, with thousands of tourists flocking to the area during the summer months, camping by the sea, residing in cabins, and setting their sights on the spectacular waterfalls and mountains. It was Thursday, the 8th of August, 1996, when 20-year-old Trude Espås wrapped up her shift at the Hotel Union in Geiranger, where she worked on a seasonal basis as a maid. Departing the hotel, she wandered towards a rocky viewpoint nearby, where she sat for a short time at approximately 5:20 p.m, reading a book with the views of the fjord surrounding her. The following day, Trude's colleagues at the hotel became concerned when she did not appear for her shift. Norwegian police were notified of the 20-year-old's disappearance, and soon a search operation began. A book and a bag belonging to Trude was recovered, however there was no sign of her. Despite thorough searches, no further clues were found for a further 11 days, when, on the 19th of August, hikers who were exploring the forest above the viewpoint followed the trail of a distinctive, unpleasant scent. Ascending the rocky terrain, the hikers found a single shoe and immediately alerted Norwegian authorities. Hunting the area for further clues, police, with the aid of Kripos, a special agency in the Norwegian police, made a bone-chilling discovery. Beneath a pile of rocks and moss lay the body of Trude Espås, less than 100 metres from the viewpoint. She had been raped and murdered. Police retrieved a partial DNA profile of an unidentified individual which was found on the body. Witnesses came forward, including a couple from Uppsala in Sweden who were taking a walk before returning to their campsite on the 8th of August when they saw a young woman sitting on a rock and reading. Upon their return journey at 6 p.m, the couple confirmed the woman was no longer by the viewpoint. Police strongly believed that the woman was Trude. The The Swedish man told authorities that he had deviated from the main pathway and wandered towards the wooded area in order to relieve himself, and during that time he was startled by a scream. The woman too also heard the scream, and both agreed that it sounded very much like a child's. The man explained he saw what he believed to be a man and child playing, and further described a moment when he glanced and saw the alleged child lying down with the man looking over them. However, as the witness descended the terrain, the pair had vanished. No other people, including the Swedish woman, saw the supposed man and child. Trude's body was found just 20 metres away from where the Swedish man had stood. The mysterious man, who was recreated in a police sketch, was described as having been wearing a blue and white striped polo shirt, and another witness came forward to police and described how the man with a striped polo shirt and white shorts had asked her for the time that evening, and she told authorities that the man spoke German. The man was thought to have been between 30 and 40 years old, around 185 centimetres or 6 feet 1 inch in height, with a normal physique and brown hair, and has never been identified. Police aimed to map all identities and vehicles that were present in the village on that summer day. Thousands of tourists from over 40 countries were present in the area at the time of Trude's disappearance and death, with Norwegian police obtaining cameras and photographs from as many of them as possible. One photograph in particular grabbed police's attention. It was snapped at 5:15 p.m. on the 8th of August. At first, it seems like an ordinary picture of the spectacular view. However, upon closer inspection, an unidentified individual appears to be sitting on the rock of the viewpoint. It has never been confirmed, however, it is assumed by many that it is the very last image of Trude Espås alive. Norwegian media brought the case to the forefront, but despite this, further clues were few and far between. Trude's belongings at her lodgings at the hotel, which she shared with colleagues, were searched, and among her possessions was a note which police took particular interest in. She would regularly write entries in a personal diary, scribbling notes throughout the day on a separate sheet of paper in order to write it all up later in the day. The note said, "German crutches." Without any further context, it was unknown what the meaning of the note was. It was speculated that perhaps she had conversed with a German wearing crutches, and something significant had occurred which she was going to explain in her diary entry. At the time, there were approximately 800 Germans in Geiranger, most of whom were tourists. Was this German the same person? It wasn't until 2 decades later when German television aired a segment about the case, urging any people who were there to come forward in the hope of solving the cold case. Despite 20 years having passed, there was a significant breakthrough following the airing of the programme. A photograph showed a man with a missing leg using crutches on a dock in Geiranger. The photo was taken on the same day that Trude wrote the note. Another witness came forward. A woman who was 16 years old at the time worked at a kiosk and told police of her experience with the one-legged man. According to the witness, he hung around the area looking out of place and acting oddly. He approached her and asked very long, in-depth questions which made her feel uncomfortable. It is thought that Trude also had a conversation of some sort with the man, therefore scribbled a quick note about it. Although not completely impossible, Norwegian police find it difficult to suspect the man of killing Trude and concealing her body, especially considering his disability. Unfortunately, the case of Trude Espås appears to have gone cold, despite police having interviewed over 3,000 people, as well as having obtained new information from the German television appeal. Her family, to this day, are still seeking answers.